Hey YouTube, welcome back to Sean's GMC Garage. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today's kind of a lazy day, and I'm gonna go over some little items maybe. I went and downloaded the inspection criteria for an Alberta out of province inspection for what I'm going to need. I went through it, and there's I guess questions that I'm going to have for who I'm going to get the inspection done that I'm going to try to track down this week. But it did answer some questions. It says that the catalytic converter does not need to be maintained, so I'm guessing that I don't need one. I think the truck had one. I'm getting mixed signals. Can't find an honest answer, so I figure I'll just ask them. So some of the stuff that I want to do, I want to test out a little hack that I found for a door latch. I'm going to pull the exhaust or grab the exhaust from Doug and see how close it is to work on this truck, but I got to jack the truck up, put it on blocks to do that. I don't know if I want to do that today. I kind of want to pull this out for a while when it does warm up and do some odds and ends around the garage without working around the truck. But the other question I have about the inspection is the rust around the wheel wells, if that will pass or not. I believe, according to that, it will, as long as it won't cause, as long as it doesn't, it's not structural, and I don't think it is. And I just got to make sure there's no sharp edges on it that people will cut themselves on. I think that's what it's calling for, so I might just go around and grind some of that stuff up and splash a little primer on it. There's some rivets hanging out of the side or the side of the truck over there that I'm going to grind down so people don't catch themselves on it. The low beam light stopped working at some point while I was playing on the door or with the steering column or something like that, so I got to figure out why they stopped. And so there's a few odds and ends that I am going to have to. The big one is the windshield for the inspection. But anyways, that's not in this video. In this video is just odds and ends, things that I find that I want to play around with. So thanks for watching. Okay, I've seen a video that says the door will close easier if you put a, let's get you down there, on the post there. Cover it in pecs. So I got some 1/2-inch pecs here. I am going to cut it and then slide it over there and see what happens. So if we close the door, if I just do a, it's not too bad, but I just want to see if it'll make it better. So I think that did help it out. Okay, let's do the other side too. The other side, I'm also going to play around with the door alignment a little bit. Let me take you over there and we'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if you could see it, but it looks like after I change the pins on the door here, this gap, I think the top of the door came out a bit. So what I want to do is loosen the bolts on the hinges and see if I can't get it back closer in, because you can see it's out a little bit there. So I thought I would play around with that to see if I can get it lined up a little bit better. And then we'll do the PEX thing here. This door is a little bit worse. So maybe if we get things lined up, things will go better.
All right, today's gonna be simple. Just fix one thing, maybe two. Yeah, okay. I started with the door, said this'll be quick. Just make it close nice, smooth and slick. Cut a little PEX, slipped it on tight. Now it shuts real sweet, yeah, that feels right. Little plastic trick didn't cost a dime. That's the kind of fix that makes you feel prime. Step back proud like I'm done for the day. But you know that ain't how it's gonna play. It's one thing, then another again. You fix one little piece, now you're chasing 10. One thing, then another, that's the garage way. You start with a plan, and it all goes sideways. Driver door sagging, needed a tweak. Shifted it up just a fraction, not weak. Closed it again, yeah, that's sitting nice. Not perfect, but hey, I'll take that twice. Then I hit the lights, thought I checked that too. Low beams gone like they had somewhere to do. I'm thinking wiring, starting to stress. Turns out the bulbs just said we quit, yes. It's one thing, then another again. You fix one little piece, now you're chasing 10. Another never goes to plan, but that's just how it works when you ranch on a van. Truck, yeah, truck. That old glass filter had me thinking twice. Heard those fittings fail, and that ain't real nice. Fuel and heat don't play too kind, so I swapped it out for some peace of mind. New one in, solid tight, less chance of trouble on a long drive night. Sometimes it ain't about power or speed, it's keeping things safe, that's what you need. It's one thing, and then another again. Every little fix just pulls you back in. One thing, then another.
Okay, the door line's a lot better now. It still jumps when it goes on to here. I think I have to adjust. Well, you know what? Why don't I do that now? Because I can't get at them now, that's why. That'll have to be done. You got to get at those bolts. This has to come off, and I am nowhere near ready to do that. So this is what we got. So it's a lot better than what it was. It aligns good here. That bigger gap has gone away. It aligns a lot better here. So tick that off the list. So more electrical. I was tracing the headlight problem, and I could have swore I had headlights before. on the top when it was on dim. Let's turn the lights on and I'll show you what I think is happening. Okay, brights are on. And when I first thought it, was looking at the headlights, when the brights were on, the top ones were off. And then I would put it on dim and the bottom ones would go out and the top ones would come on. So I thought it was one or the other. And I thought that was kind of funny for brights. I thought you would want both, but so I was playing with my tool again and probing these connections here. So we got brights on and there is 12 volts going to that wire, nothing to that one, and that one is ground. Then if I go to dims, there is power going to that one, but not that one, and that one is should register as ground. So yeah, I replaced one of the high beam lights already, but both of the low beam ones have to get new. They must I don't know if they went while I was working on them, but the high beam portion of them wasn't working at all. So we will pull them out. I'll probably grab the lights before I pull them out. And then, so the other thing, or the next thing we're going to do is down here, I have my fuel filter. And watching Bike Script Garage, he doesn't like these ones. They're glass. I got this from Canadian Tire. It's a glass filter, and he says these plastic ends leak. And I do have other filters, and I always wanted to change to the plastic ones just because I don't want this busting and getting glass everywhere and gas everywhere. So that's what we'll do next, is we'll quickly change that out.
20 minutes. Next thing you know, it's dark. You're hungry. And you've taken apart 3 things you didn't even plan on touching. Yeah, that's today. Then I grabbed Doug's exhaust, dragged it on over, thought I'd see how it fits on my other old Soldier. Held it up there like this might work, then realized quick, yeah, more parts, more work. Couple brackets here, maybe cut, maybe bend. This is one of those jobs that don't really end, but I stood there laughing, just shaking my head. Future me's got a long road ahead. It's one thing, and then another again. That's the life of a wrench and a stubborn old friend. One thing, then another, but I wouldn't trade all these little battles in the garage I've made. Then another again. You fix one little piece, now you're chasing 10. One thing, then another, yeah, it never ends. But that's why we keep coming back again. One thing, then another, in the cold of heat, grease on your hands and dust on your feet. One thing, then another, yeah, that's the game. And I'd do it all tomorrow, just the same. Yeah, just one quick job. That's what I said.
Well, the windshield washer's kind of working. Let's take a look. I think the switch just needs to be used. Down. Crank you up. so you can take a look. Okay, so if I push the button, it starts to pump, but doesn't stop. Oh, there it stopped. Okay, so let's push it again. Pumps, still pumping, and stopped. Now if I turn, that was like the, with the mist setting or whatever. So if I got it going on fast, and I hit the button, oh, there we go. Pumping. Still tries to pump there. So I think it's coming around. I think the switch just needs some use. I can live with it that way. So we're okay with the windshield washing pump. Oh, and of course, I've ran out of fluid now. So, yeah, I think sitting for 28 years, things just need to be used a little bit. So, windshield washer pump. Check off the list. Okay, I think we're getting to the end of this video. I've got the truck up on blocks and jack stands now. I've hauled in Doug's muffler, and I'm just going to throw it underneath to see how things line up. I don't know if I have to take it apart to get it over the axle or not. We'll see how that goes, but let's slide it under and see what it looks like. All right, we got her into position here. That's the old muffler, and then we got a bit of a gap. And then it took me like a half an hour to find out where I put that bracket, because I knew I wanted to use it in a later date, but it took me a while. And then it peeks out the bottom down there. It's like it was made for this truck. So I am just going to order a 3-foot pipe and see if I can't just bridge that gap for now, just to get by. Thanks for watching.